And let's go.
And now it's time for Bikes, Mikes, and Idiots with your hosts, Ubi and Eric.
Alrighty, guys, here we go again. Obviously, we've been having some fun. Like we usually do, though. Right?
Yes.
We always end up having a good time.
Always.
So, this week, obviously, I've been out in the sun some more. Because dealing with this heat. Jesus. You can't avoid it, honestly. You really can't avoid it.
No, this time of the year, it's always hot, so.
It's just ridiculous. And you know what? I'm very prone to heat illness or heat illnesses.
Such as heat stroke.
Heat illness. So heat illness is the first one. Heat stroke. I've had rhabdo multiple times.
It's because you don't drink enough fluids.
No, actually. So I used to drink almost 2 gallons a day. Still got rhabdo.
Well, yeah, it's 2 gallons of beer will do that to you.
Hey, stop messing with my adult water, all right?
That's right. It is adult water.
It really is.
So
No, but I used to drink almost 2 gallons a day on a regular basis, working out, doing all this stuff. And
once you've had
still,
heat stroke or heat stress once, you get it easier.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It's messed me. So I'm very prone to it. And I turned kind of red being out in the sun.
You're a lobster.
See, but I don't go full lobster.
No, you don't go. I go full lobster to
My
white.
sister
Although I've
does.
got a pretty good tan now.
My sister does, though. She goes full lobster.
Yeah.
She doesn't really tan. She gets a little bit, not very much. If I do get real sunburn, I'll at least be tan afterwards,
Yeah.
nice and tan afterwards. Although I have very bad tan lines.
I think I do too, actually. Not too bad. Not too bad.
So, on that whole topic, so I've been called, we're obviously in Tucson, so you get a lot of Mexican candies out here. There's a candy called Duvalin.
Yes.
And it's kind of like, it's almost like frosting, but one of the main flavors, and it comes in like a little thing, and you get like a little spoon with it. It comes in like a little cup,
Yeah.
and one of the main flavors is chocolate and vanilla, so it's white and brown.
Yep.
I've been called a Duvalin before.
It's probably because your feet
Yeah.
Yeah.
My feet
are like
white.
Yeah, they are weird.
Super
No offense, because I mean feet are weird
white. I mean,
anyway.
yes.
But
yes,
it's like
they
my
are.
wall white. It's
Yeah,
weird.
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty weird.
So,
it's like It's like he's
it's-
been soaking his feet in tub for like the whole day.
So it's basically, since it's hot, it's Duvalin season.
Yes.
For me, at
Duvalin
least.
season. For me, it's just a
You
good
get-
day.
You get kind of brown.
Yeah, I do.
little
It's
bit.
kind of weird. It's kind of crazy. The German dude turns brown.
Yeah. Hey, at least you don't freckle.
I will a little bit.
Do you
Not
really?
too bad, yeah. I'll get them right up here. I'll get freckles right along there, but not too bad.
That's kind of funny, actually. Must be the red hair.
Yeah, there's some. I do have some in my beard. And now that it's growing back really good now.
Yeah, it's coming along. I'm sure.
Yeah,
You're
it's
gonna,
getting
I'm
there.
sure you keep it fairly trim, unlike me.
Yeah, I keep mine fairly short. So
I go through phases. I let it grow out a little bit more. And
yes,
then
it's called laziness.
There's that too.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Hey, we're busy people.
Well, that was the thing. It wasn't when we were allowed to have beards
Yeah.
at work, because for the longest time we had to be very professional and weren't allowed to have beards, clean cut. I just hate
Yeah.
shaving. I
could go either way with it. I mean, I spend less time shaving than I did when I had my beard. Because when I shaved every day, it's quick. You just
whole thing. You don't have to worry
Done.
about.
It's-
you
you
don't have to
don't
worry about like
trimming
not-
it or making sure it looks good or
That's true, but I only really trim it up maybe once a week.
no.
Just to
I still do twice.
Clean it up.
Excuse me, sorry. Worked Worked a long night.
Oh,
So.
I tried to mute your
Yeah, my yawn.
sounding like some Star Wars characters over there. But yeah, I honestly only ever really trim it about once a week.
Yeah, I usually touch
And-
mine up twice a week. I do it like Sunday, Thursday. Usually are my days to do it.
You know what? And actually, I don't trim it. I just clean it up about once a week.
Okay. No, I actually do full trimmer all the way around, and then clean it up down to make the lines good there, then down underneath. So
Although I will say, I do more to maintain my beard than I do for anything else.
oh yeah, absolutely, you have to.
which is kind of weird.
It's weird.
But I still hate shaving, so
Yeah.
I prefer.
I would
the beard.
prefer to. You'd still prefer to do that anyway.
Still prefer to do the beard.
Well, I've found myself a couple of times when I've been trimming it, like I was trimming along my mustache line.
Oh yeah.
And then like I turn away to look at something, I'm like, "Wah, oh,
Well, guess I
well,
gotta shave.
guess I got to shave that part now."
You know what? I just had a crooked mustache part for a couple times. Just said screw it.
Well, that's
I'm
what
not gonna
happens
go
when you
through the
have,
whole-
one shoe on, one shoe off. It makes you look crooked a little bit.
like reading a green with one shoe on.
Yeah, hey,
Some
one of the
Happy
best
Gilmore.
golf movies ever.
That is a great.
The
golf
Price is Wrong.
biatch. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good movie.
it's a great.
We were
movie.
talking about some golf movies earlier. It was kind of funny. So, another one, Tin Cup, and because we talked about some Arizona movies and stuff. So, Tin Cup
we
was
talked
was
about that
another
last-
one, and
last
that was
go-around.
Tubac, right? Tubac,
Yeah.
Arizona is where they filmed
Tubac,
some of that.
They filmed some of that. There's actually a hole. So on the golf course in Tubac, there's actually a hole, and they have a little plaque in the ground
Oh, okay,
for that one hole where he kept hitting, and
plopped it.
yeah, kept hitting in the water, and finally it was his last ball, and oh, he made it from there.
Yeah.
And the girl comes up. Everyone's gonna forget this, that, and the other, but they'll remember you're 12.
Yeah, Rene Russo, right?
Yes, there you go. I only remember certain people.
I'm an idiot, but I am an idiot
Idiot
savant.
savant. I was just about to say that. You beat
Oh,
me
you
to
knew?
it.
Oh, I did. I know. I'm a little faster than you on a lot of things.
Not on the bikes.
No, definitely not on the bikes.
No, wait. You're faster, not quicker.
Faster, not quicker. Well, I don't know. Now with the suspension, maybe I'll get power to the ground better. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Won't lift the front end so much to where the traction control comes on.
Since you're over here talking about your suspension, how's it?
My Wilbur's suspension is doing well,
Wilbur.
so I will shout that out. It's a German company. It is amazing. The only thing I really hate myself about it is that I didn't do it when I bought the bike. So I thought my suspension was decent. It's a stock suspension, so it's stock, and I thought it was decent. And then I put this suspension on there.
What is it? The ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. Ignorance was very blissful until I put this on. I was like, oh my God, I'm an idiot. I should have done this too. Best modification I've ever done on my bike. Better than any of the other mods I've done to it. It's so more comfortable.
So more comfortable.
Oh yeah. So like the other night into work, I go on a back road that's kind of chattery. I mean, it's paved, but it's not a real smooth road.
I mean, we're in Tucson.
Yeah.
What do you
Crap
expect?
roads. So I'm driving and I'm going through that section. And I was like, I'm doing like 50. I better, speed up so I can catch to work. Look down. I was doing 75. I'm like, whoa, smooth as smooth could be.
Really?
Even smoother than my truck, which was weird. It was one of those things that you're like, wow, that's.
Well, I mean, your truck's not a Cadillac. It's not.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's got a little
Yeah.
off-roady suspension, so it's a
Yeah.
little bit stiffer.
But still, it was so night and day difference. It is by far, hands down, the best modification ever. So the good
That-
thing is we'll see on our trip to
I was gonna say that
to
plus a good
Chicago will
seat.
be the
Yeah,
will
that's
be
gonna
the
that's
the
gonna be your
big
test.
of it.
I mean, you have that plus a good seat,
Yeah.
which we both have the exact same
Yeah.
seat. So, I wouldn't have bought any other seat. Honestly, I had it on my old bike too.
Yep.
So,
And those seats get such mixed reviews. Like people hate them. Oh, I hate them. I hate them. It's one of the most resold seats on the marketplace.
yeah,
But I think those people don't give it enough time because
Yeah.
you have to break it in. It's a gel seat. It takes like mine. It literally took 1,000 miles of riding to get it.
yeah.
Where and now it's like I wouldn't ride with anything else.
That's the other thing.
I'd buy
about
the
it,
same
though.
seat all over again.
It's a stiffer seat though.
Yes.
It's not super plush, so to say.
Yeah, it's not a sofa. It's not a comfy sofa.
Yeah, but you don't want that because I've done that.
Yeah.
I've done that, and that's what they've kind of done with newer bikes too. Is that they
Yeah.
have softer seats. They're nice for a short little
Yeah,
ride.
most of your riders are shorter distance riders. They ride for an
and
hour
it's-
and they're done.
if that.
Yeah.
Because anything past like 45 minutes on the stock seat, oof, it was rough. It was real rough.
It would just kill you. It would just kill you. And this thing, they ride so good. And we're gonna get some mileage. We're gonna start working on our trip route here pretty quick.
We've been talking about that for a long time. It's getting real close.
We
We really need to hammer
we
that
need
out.
to get on it soon. I think this next weekend I'm planning on it. I already talked to our sergeant, so
Oh, there you go.
we talked to him. Bogey's going to be sitting down with me. If we don't finish it out Friday, we're going to finish it out Sunday.
Hey, you know what? Maybe we should bring him on the podcast one day, and because he is a talker.
He is.
He is a
He
talker.
is a talker, and he's done some stuff in the military. He's
Yeah.
done some stuff with law enforcement. So he's done some really cool things. He'd be actually a very good
He
guest.
probably would. Although, he would probably take up 90% of the time.
Oh yeah, we would just be sitting here like this.
Okay. When he needs to take enough breath so that we can interject.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure. Me and him both suffer from SOS really bad.
Yes. Well, we all do, I think, to a certain.
To a certain degree, you have it. You definitely have it. We've had those moments. But
What are we talking about?
exactly. But me and him have that, and I think that's probably why me and him get along so well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's the thing. You know, you find those guys that have. I think you all tend to gather around others that are
Similar.
similar. Yeah, and whether it be personality, things that you enjoy, like hobbies, we're all like that.
Yeah. So
I think a lot of it is our positions. We have to be so focused, so like straight line focused at work to make sure everything that's required to get done gets done.
yeah,
That as soon as you're off work, you're like, like I really,
it could honestly be that. But you know what? I think I've noticed this with this podcast.
is it taping?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I hate you right now.
Because we don't have our other one.
I hate you right now.
Our other one's delayed still. Stand by.
I hate you.
We good?
Yes.
Okay, so
You
only
made me-
reason
you
I
made me
wanted to
second
double
guess
check.
myself.
Well, you know, we do have technology issues with this, so we wanted to
Yeah,
make
we've-
sure we
we've
don't
had
want to
some
waste.
issues.
We don't want to waste another one because since the other camera's still not here.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get a good little technical difficulties on this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think honestly, me and Bogey, I think the reason me and Jake get along so well is just we can follow each other's conversation.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you've ever noticed, he bounces. He's very all over, and I can actually follow his conversation
Yeah.
the same. He follows mine.
Yep.
So I think that's probably part of the reason me and him get along so well. Plus golf, and we have a lot of similar interests. But yeah, maybe we should have him on, and I'm sure for us it'll be fun. For everyone else watching, they're gonna have to be like, okay, we're gonna have to put out a special one where it's this section mixed with that section that's 20 minutes down.
Yeah.
to like make one full thought.
Yeah, it'll be all over the place.
But it'll be fun.
It'll be like watching cats play with a mouse.
It'll be like herding cats.
Yes.
Except no one's gonna be hurting us, so
No, we're just
gonna
no,
go off
we're
the
just gonna
rails.
go. We're gonna off the rail this. But yeah, it's that's a good thing though. I mean, it's good to have. We're gonna start focusing on trying to get some people out here and at least doing a minimum of call-ins. We're trying to figure out the whole call-in thing. We
Yeah, I
want to
think-
make sure we know it's working before we give it a
Yeah,
full
we're gonna have
shot.
someone, we're gonna hear them, no one else can. You know, that would be our luck. Where we have somebody calling in and
And
we're
nothing
the only-
works.
We're the only one hearing them.
Yeah, so we're
we're
gonna
just
get that
having a
figured
random
out.
conversation with a phantom in the room.
Yeah, so we'll get all that figured out. But you know, I mean, we're just moving forward. We had a long week again, hot week. This whole week has been terrible.
I think we're just it's
It's got to be global warming.
must be 'cause
I mean, it's
not like
every year, but you know,
yeah. Hey, it's a annual phenomenon. Mm-hmm. But so, since it was hot today and I was out in the sun for a while, I had gone home before we did this, before we started podcasting today, and I told Eric, hey, I'm going to be here at a certain time. Ran a little bit longer than I thought I would be because I jumped in the shower and it was originally hot and I put it as cold as I could, and then it finally hit cold and I was just like,
Oh, there's nothing better than that.
And I was just like, oh, can I just stay here?
Yeah.
Because it's nice and cool in this
And
shower.
sometimes that's what you have to do. Like, you just have to cool your body down.
Yeah. Well, especially, like I said, with me, I've had
Heat issues, yeah.
multiple heat illness, heat stress, heat stroke. I'm pretty sure I've had heat stroke.
Oh, I know I have.
Because I had a buddy of mine where on the radio, he had called me over. We were out doing something. He had called me over, and I answer him on the radio because we're on a direct channel, so no one else can hear us. It's just me and him. And I was like, I'm on my May. I'm on my May. Could not get it out. Could not get out. I'm on my way.
Yep.
Said it like 5 times. He knew what I was saying. I finally eventually got it out
Yeah.
and said I'm on my way. But he could hear it, and he's just laughing. We've talked about it. Me and him have talked about it quite a few times, and he laughs about it all the time. He'll bring it up every once in a while. And he's like, I'm glad you didn't die.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing with heat stuff. You don't know. Like, I dropped at doing PT, and I think by the time they got me into the med shed,
Yeah.
I was at, he said I was like 103 or 104 degrees.
Mm.
So they were throwing ice bags on me. They're like, I took 4 units of saline,
Yeah.
like ice bags all over me, and they're like, you were like 1 degree from us calling a chopper in because we're gonna lose you. They're like, you were delirious. I tried to fight the doctor when he stuck me with the needle because I've told you guys before I have a crazy fear of needles, and it took 2 of my classmates to hold me down to allow him to get the needle in my arm.
Wow. That's actually pretty impressive.
So yeah, they said it was bad. They were like said they were all but punching me in the face. Or like, yeah, I was thrashing trying to get out of there.
I mean, it's not like you're a small guy either.
No, that's true.
And you wouldn't know it from seeing me, but I'm kind of scared of needles a little bit too.
Oh yeah. Tattoo. I was thinking
It's
that's
very
why
different.
I took so long to get a tattoo.
It's so different.
And when I finally got a tattoo, like I was like when she got the tattoo gun out, I'm like, oh, see, it's just these needles. I was like, oh. And then she started doing it, and I was like, oh, well, that's totally
feels like someone
different.
just kind of scraping
It's just
me a
it
little bit.
feels
It's
like
not-
a wire brush scraping you.
Yeah, it's
I was like,
not too
that's
bad.
totally different. And she's like, oh, for your first tattoo, like I didn't go for a small tattoo either. I mean, it's a shoulder, almost shoulder to elbow, or it's above shoulder to elbow.
Yeah.
So it's not a small tattoo for the first one. She was like, that's a big tattoo for your first tattoo. I'm like, oh, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And she was
I
like,
can just see you like with some tiny little tattoo for
Yeah.
your first, just like a little thing.
little smiley face on my knuckle or something. But no, so it was,
But it's kind of crazy. You think about tattoos. Tattoos have been around forever.
oh yeah, I mean, have you seen like there's guys who still do like the traditional Polynesian
with it.
tattoos where they're just that's impressive.
I
I would not want to do it.
I think
That's
I would
impressive.
do it, but like a small little something.
Yeah,
'Cause I
little
guarantee-
smiley face.
No, I mean I'd get if I were to go out
Yeah.
there and try it, and I'd get something, but I'd get something kind of small.
Well, I mean,
'cause
the Vikings tattooed.
Yeah.
I mean, the tattoos have been around forever.
But
South
now-
America,
But now you think of like the
and like
technology.
did banding and stuff too.
Oh yeah. But you think of the way that technology advanced, and now it's just this little machine. Well, and then you think of people in prison that do tattoos, and
yeah. On their
they're
like
inventive.
first time they did the eyeball one, the whites of their eyes that started in the jails, and now that's like becoming a thing. But
except for people went blind doing it.
well, yeah, you know,
I mean,
they don't have much to live for anyway. Most of those guys.
yeah.
But
it's-
like that's just like I'm sorry, I'm not
couldn't do it.
An eye tattoo? No, I don't like getting a bug flying into my eye.
I was gonna say it reminds me of there's a certain movie where they show that
That
it's like
is-
coming
yeah.
and it goes into someone's
You know,
eye.
it's an
What movie
alien
was
thing. That was Fire in the Sky.
Was it?
Yes, which was
Oh, there you go.
an alien movie filmed in the White Mountains of Arizona. Oh, I don't know if it was filmed in the White Mountains of Arizona, but Fire in the Sky actually took place in the White Mountains of Arizona. So
Did it
Arizona
really?
is really well known for having a whole bunch of alien stuff. So we can run a whole pod just on alien stuff, and I'm telling you, like, it's weird.
Did it really? Because I mean, there's a lot of stuff filmed in Arizona, but you wouldn't think that it's
The Predator.
Yeah,
I did pretty close the other day. Mine was more of a purr than a pred.
yeah. You were a little bit of a
Yeah, I can't do that myself. But no, I mean that's Arizona is a weird area for that.
yeah. It really is.
And when you think about, we're not
Phoenix
that
Lights.
close. Well, Phoenix Lights. You have Roswell, which is
Not very
by
far off.
air. You're looking at an hour and a half, 2 hours from where Fire in the Sky supposedly happened up in the northern mountains of Arizona. That's where Area 51 crashed. I mean, the city of Roswell is like they have for streetlights. They have alien heads.
Yeah.
They have a UFO museum. Like for
have
their
a-
4th of July parade, their 4th of July parade is an alien parade.
the McDonald's there.
Yes.
is
It is.
UFO themed.
It is one of the only McDonald's that has been allowed to do anything other than the normal McDonald's build.
Then you have in Arizona, Sedona.
Yep.
They have the McDonald's that has the
Turquoise
arches.
Turquoise arches because of
Only one.
because of the light pollution issues.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yep.
hey, maybe there's something to it.
There could be, but I'm telling you, aliens. I totally 100% believe they're there. And the reason I know they're intelligent is because they haven't contacted us because we're idiots.
I mean, could you imagine what would people do? What would people do if there was an alien mothership that landed?
It'd be Mars Attacks. That's
Someone
Great movie.
Well, especially yeah, that was actually a really good movie. Well, and then they wouldn't land in like a super populated area. They'd
no.
land in some backwoods USA town.
Yeah.
Some
Like
real backwoods, and someone would come up with the shotgun. and
Alabama. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like freaking southern Alabama, and some dude 12 gauges them from his back porch.
yeah, it would definitely
It'd be like Men in Black. It lands on like the poor farmer's house. Was it Edgar?
Edgar.
Wearing an Edgar suit.
Wearing an Edgar suit. I mean, that's probably what would happen if they
Yeah.
landed. Because I think the worst thing about it is people think aliens are going to do the same things we would do
Yeah.
to conquer something.
Yeah.
So
No, they're not.
well, you never know, but there's the whole "I come in peace" thing. That's always been a big alien
Yes.
movie.
Take me to your leader. Ack, ack, ack. I actually do that pretty good.
You do. We should put a little thing on here.
Put an alien head on me. And we want to thank one of our founding sponsors, the Legion of St. Michael Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club, founded in 2014 in Chicago, Illinois, by the Chicago Police Department.
They have many chapters throughout the United States and international. We are part of the Tucson chapter, and Eric is actually national president, and he got to go visit our international brothers down in Italy.
And moved on and saw some friends that we met in Italy and Qatar. But we're a 501c3 charitable organization that focuses on law enforcement and first responder families in their times of need, whether it be a death, financial issue. We're there to help support our brothers and sisters in blue.
Yep. Anything they need or their families need, we usually try to help out anything we can, any way we can, financially, or even if it's just moral support, being there for them, being able to help them out with anything they need or we can do for them.
So if you're interested in donating to the Legion of St. Michael, reach out to any of the chapters through us, through our many social media profiles that we have set up.
Being Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, X, YouTube, or Rumble. Any one of those, you can reach out to us, or you can reach out to us on our email, bikesmikesandidiots@gmail.com, and we'll try to get back to you as quickly as we can so you can help us out and do whatever you can.
And once again, thank you to Legion of St. Michael as a founding member.
But I mean, yeah, you're right. And Arizona does have a lot of
Activity.
phenomena.
Aerial activity.
Yeah.
Huge aerial activity. actually.
And I've seen the whole Phoenix Lights thing.
Yeah.
Craziest, weirdest thing I had experienced. I was up there, I think I was probably in high school. I was up there at my uncle's house. And I don't remember what I was doing. Nighttime, driving back towards my uncle's house, and I just see that light go fly over this way really quickly over the car, and there's a hill out here. Flies over. It looks like it flies into the hill, and the light disappears for a second.
Yeah. It's called a crash.
Yeah, no, but it didn't.
No, it didn't.
The craziest thing was it didn't. It looked like it flew into the hill for a second, disappeared, and then a couple seconds later, it did one of those. It legit did. It did a little bit of...
I got to do that face every time I do that.
Every time. Every time you've done that noise, you've done it.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the thing now.
Yeah.
But it flew in, and then all of a sudden, it was like 5 or 6 lights appeared.
It's crazy.
Like
I've seen the lights, same thing. Like even in New York growing up, we were out camping one time, and we're out camping. We're out in this, you've got the rain fly off because it was supposed really nice night, and it could have been a meteor, it could have been something. I don't know what it was, but it was so bright, it lit up the entire tent as it went by, and we were just like, we were so freaked out, like we didn't know what to do. We were just like, did you see that? They're like, yeah. Did you see that? Yeah.
You were hoping everyone else said
yeah,
no.
Yeah, I was hoping everybody said no, and I was dreaming or something. But no, we all saw it. It was like, that's freaky. And we're like, you going to get out of the tent and see what? No. Not a single one of us wanted to get out of the tent to see what it was. We're like, if we're going to die, we're dying together inside this tent. Yeah. I'm not going to be the only one that gets probed.
I mean, hey, you might like it.
You never know. You never know. It could be a good thing. It could be a good thing. But, I mean, it's... You'll think about the proximity to, Area 51, which we know is where a lot of our skunk works. That's where the SR-71 was made, the U-2. So skunk works, they built all this technology there where and we're talking like right after the 50s crash in Roswell. All of a sudden, in less than 10 years, we go leaps and bounds from propeller aircraft to SR-71 doing Mach 3 plus. Yeah. And the U-2 that nobody can hit with a missile because they fly so high. Yeah. So you've got 2 different airframes and then stealth technology and all these other things that come out of that place that are just decades beyond what anybody could think of.
But then it makes you think, too, is that just technology they finally said, okay, they're ready for?
Yeah.
That the government said, hey, the general public's finally ready for?
Or they've seen enough of it that we have no choice but to say this is what it is.
Yeah.
But
because that's what they play it off as for the most part, saying, oh well, because in Arizona you have Davis Monthan and you have Luke.
Oh yeah, you've just seen. Oh, it's just jets.
It's just it's the jets, or we were doing some kind of training
weather balloon.
Yeah,
they said it was a weather balloon. Foo Fighters.
Oh yeah, but
and actually, you know what Foo Fighters is?
What is it?
One, it's a band.
Well,
but Foo Fighters, they used to call UFOs Foo. Look it up. Foo Fighters. Yep. Okay. Look up where they got the name Foo Fighters. So it was UFOs. So they called them Foo Fighters, the people who went after UFOs. So, but you think about that technology that comes out, and like it makes sense that people who are near and around Area 51, up in the mountains and stuff, watching stuff take off and seeing these weird planes take off, like super fast, crazy jets and all this.
Okay, so this is what it says.
Okay.
Grohl hoped to stay anonymous and release the recordings in a limited run under the name Foo Fighters, taken from Foo Fighter, a World War II term for unidentified flying objects.
There you go. So, see? Huh. I was pretty close.
Maybe you were pretty close.
Pretty darn close.
It had to do with UFOs.
Yeah. So, Foo Fighters basically, same idea. But anyway, totally lost my train of thought. Oh, no, seeing the different lights and stuff down there at 51, as far as the way people were, you think about, okay, 60s, 70s, how good were the optics? Not as good as what you have now. So, now they get up in those mountain ranges. They can see things a lot better with the digital camera technology, so it's a lot harder to hide that stuff.
Well, but then you think about Aztec, Mayan technology, those kind of things. They were, for lack of better words, light years ahead of
Egyptians, too.
Yeah. When it came to
and what do all of them? What do all of them draw on hieroglyphics and their paintings and all? There's UFOs. Yeah. Some sort of UFO flying thing that has people coming out of it. Like that's
there's even biblical references where they've had stuff like that too. Where it's so Is it a real thing? Yeah, probably.
Probably.
Probably. But,
Well, I mean, now the government's actually saying there
Confirming.
are confirming, hey, there's.
well, but then they're going to play it off.
But they're
as
going to.
saying-
But they're saying unidentified flying objects, and that's
Yeah.
all it means. That's what a UFO means. It doesn't mean it's an alien. It's just
Yeah.
something that's
And-
flying
and
around
that's
that we
exactly
don't
what
know.
They're going to play it off as. They
Yeah.
could probably have video evidence of actual aliens, and they're going to say, "Oh, it was just an unidentified flying object that."
Yeah.
We just.
Well, I
still
mean,
don't know what it is.
they've at least confirmed a lot of like the stories that like the retired jet fighters pilots have said, like this thing like moved like nothing
Like
else I've ever
nothing,
seen.
yeah.
And then now those videos are starting to come out, so they've declassified a bunch of them. So, I mean, I think it's smart in a way that if we do know we're not alone, I think it's smart to ease that information out instead of creating a panic. Because like you look at like and I know it's a movie, but Independence Day.
Yeah.
Everybody's all partying, happy the aliens get there until they explode your city. And then they're like, whoa, this isn't good.
That was actually a really good movie.
I think that was very well done.
Yeah, it
Very
was.
well done. And, Bill Pullman played a great job, did a
Hey.
great job. Will Smith
Man,
did
I
a
was about
phenomenal
to say.
job.
I was about to say your favorite music artist. Will
Getting
Smith
jiggy
over
with
there.
it. Na, 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 na.
Was
Yeah.
throwing back to those
yeah.
references.
I still love, one of my favorite songs that Will Smith ever did was Nightmare on My Street.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
That was
I
good,
thought
but
you were about
they had
say
to take it off.
Summertime.
They had to take it off a bunch of their things. They got in trouble for copyright stuff. But so
Well,
we're not going to even repeat that on here.
No,
But
let's not go down that road.
No.
I thought you were going to say Summertime though.
Summertime is a great song.
The craziest thing is most people don't remember that it was Will Smith,
Yeah.
and they're just
Well,
like,
we do like that.
oh, yeah.
Didn't it play the other day when we were
I
at
think
work at the changeover and we were like, "Oh, Will Smith." People are like, "What?"
Yeah,
Like,
it's one
no,
of those-
that's Will Smith. No, it isn't. Yeah, it is.
Look it up. Yeah, it is. It's funny. Like it's funny to think the way everything's kind of evolved, the way people evolved, and you think of, like I said, with the Mayans, the Aztecs, Egyptians, all that kind of thing. What is it that maybe we're missing? And it could be light pollution, because that was
Yeah.
So when I remember reading about this and hearing stories about it too, or maybe it wasn't stories, maybe it was television stuff, whatever it may be. But when they had like a blackout in LA,
Yep.
and all of a sudden they started getting just tons of phone calls, 911 phone calls, like
Yep.
there's all these crazy lights and clouds.
Well, off
in
of
the sky,
Catalina, they're
and-
talking about off the, was it Ghost Hunters or somebody did like a Catalina? What was it? It was
I don't think it. I don't
it was
think I've
Josh
seen it.
Gaines, the show that he has on there. That I think it's Josh Gaines. It's like exploring history or something like that. But he does a show and like they actually explore that stuff. And they had people on there at Catalina Island because there's been a lot of weird things that have happened there. Weird magnetic fields and that's California. It's right off the San Diego beach.
this was
Where
a- this
and
is
what's at
actually-
San Diego?
Oh, there's
Marine Corps.
What is it called? What's that base called?
No, not Pendleton.
No, I was going to say Pennington. When you said Pennington, yeah.
San Diego. What is it? Oh my gosh.
We can look it up.
But yeah, anyway. So yeah, there's a base there. So they do a lot of stuff there, but it's weird that it's all seen around the bases.
Yeah. But no, the thing I was actually talking about was people seeing the Milky Way for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Because just the light pollution there.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. They were just in awe because they were like, why is there so many lights in the sky? There's
Yeah.
only a couple stars.
Yeah.
And there's all these stars. There's all these lights. And
Yep.
the cloud, because
Cloud cover and-
I'm sure you've probably seen it out here too.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's why we have so many observatories around Tucson, because
Yeah.
it's perfect.
There's
for
not
it.
a lot of light pollution out
So
here.
you can end up seeing, on a real dark
Yeah.
night, you can end up seeing some of the I want to say it's clouds, but it's not actually clouds of the Milky Way.
Yeah, the star
They
dust.
call it, yeah. They call it clouds.
Yeah, whatever
something.
their terminology
actual term
is
is.
for it. But
But yeah,
no,
it
you
looks
can
like
actually
clouds.
see not just the single. You don't just see single stars. You see just the light.
Yeah. Naval base in San Diego.
Which would be Marine Corps as well, yes.
And it is. I don't know. I'm trying to find it. Trying to find the name.
Dun, 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 dun.
Either way, doesn't matter. I'm
All
sure
that
we could just-
technology that we were given by the aliens, and you can't even find it.
Hey, maybe if I was an alien and had extra
Digits.
appendages and stuff, maybe I'd be able to find it. Although, appendage is a funny word.
Appendages.
Well, I mean, you think about it, how often do people actually use appendage?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even talk about my phalanges that often.
Exactly. Metatarsals,
Yep.
all that good stuff. But it's not a normal term for people.
No, it isn't. But yeah, so what do you think is like the hot spot? What do you think draws the aliens here?
I think it's just more, and I think we've talked about it with like the whole Kraken thing with giant squid and all that. I think it's just more of a curiosity.
I would say water. It's one of the few
there's-
planets in this
liquid
solar system that has liquid water that's readily available. So for me, we know
Well-
everything needs some form of water to be sustained, at least on this planet.
See, and that's an argument.
Yeah.
I've had this.
And those other
argument
planets
many times.
might not need it.
It might not.
Yeah.
They might be where carbon-based life forms. They could be silicon-based life forms or whatever else. So they don't need water to
Yeah. To
have,
survive.
Yeah. So who knows? It could be the water because, like you said, there's not a lot of actual
Free
liquid
water. Yeah.
Liquid water, because Mars, they discovered tons of water on Mars.
Yep.
But it's all frozen.
It's all solid.
And then, although I think it's one of the moons of Saturn, I think it might be Europa, is solid on the outside, but there's liquid water underneath.
Oh, so it's like a freaking jawbreaker.
Like a jawbreaker.
Yeah, solid on the outside, liquid on the inside.
Jawbreakers are solid all the way through.
Oh, that's only when I was only when Mythbusters melted it and it exploded and almost burned somebody's face off. Remember that episode?
That's a great show,
I've been watching that recently.
So
I've been
have I,
watching
actually.
that and Whose Line Is It Anyway recently. Oh my gosh. Love both of those shows.
They are great shows.
Yeah, when that jawbreaker busted open, man, she was like,
That was a good show. They did a lot of cool stuff on there too.
yes, they did. Especially shooting the cannonball through that one person's house accidentally. Whoops.
Oh yeah, and that came
Went
out.
through like 4 walls.
Yeah, went up the stairs.
Yeah.
Some crazy stuff. They did a lot of real dangerous stuff,
Oh,
which you probably
exploding. Oh my God. Exploding the one concrete truck. It's like Jamie likes big boom. And when it exploded, it goes, pew! That's all you hear is the boom. And it was they're 2 miles away and they all jumped.
Yeah, because
It was so loud. That was amazing.
They did a lot of super dangerous stuff
Yep.
on that show. And then now you would never be able to do that.
Oh, the insurance riders would never allow that.
Well, not even just that. Just in general, you would probably get arrested for half the stuff they did.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they were making bombs. Let's paint this house with a bomb. Put a bomb in a paint bucket and make it paint the house. Remember that?
Blowing up the water heaters and stuff. Mm-hmm. Making like a little rocket out of it, essentially.
Rocket car.
Rocket car. The JATO rocket car. They did that twice?
2 or 3 times. Yeah,
They
a
might have
couple
been
times. It was a couple of times. And the one it just went obliterated it.
And then when they started doing the movies too, they started doing like the speed one.
Yep.
That the bus would never make it.
Yep.
And I mean,
Yeah, you kind of know that. But they were good at then replicating it with camera angles and showing you how it was done. So that was really, really cool. So I mean, they've done some really cool stuff. I still think the Ark of the Covenant where they shocked the crap out of Adam Savage when they put the big transformer in there and
instead of just a little.
Oh, he had to have been mad.
Oh yeah.
You could tell he was not happy, but and they had such a great chemistry, and those guys honestly didn't really like each other that much.
Which is crazy if you think about
They
it.
didn't really like each other, so
But
it's
they-
like us.
Yeah.
We don't like each other, but they recognized and appreciated the work ethic that each one of them had. So it shows you, and it's a problem that we see today in our general society, I think, where, I disagree with you, I have to hate you. Oh, I'm a Republican, you're a Democrat. Or,
I'm from the East Coast, you're from the West Coast.
yeah, exactly. It's those
any-
constant, instead of realizing, like having conversations with people who could be a little bit different,
Yeah.
instead of having conversations and talking with people and realizing, wow, we disagree on this and this, but we're really similar on all this other stuff. People are just so busy to be like, you don't believe what I believe, so screw you.
Yeah.
And that's a really sad place. And I think that's it's an unfortunate thing, like we've talked about it before, about the instant gratification lifestyle and all that.
Absolutely.
They're looking for that affirmation because I think people aren't getting the affirmation where they need it, really. You know, they're not getting affirmation in their lives, so they get the affirmation by surrounding themselves with people who do nothing but affirm what they say.
Is that a societal thing, though, or is that just...
Because it's so widespread, I would say it is absolutely societal. It's something that's been learned and passed on to people at this point.
Yeah.
In a generality. I think generally.
Yeah.
Because you look at the mob rule crap that happens and all that stuff. I mean, I still think there's pockets of people who are reasonable and talk like we do. I mean, we don't agree with everything.
No.
You know, you have an Indian, I have a Harley. One of us rides the right bike. So, I mean, it just goes to tell you that, like, yeah, we're opposites. We give each other crap. But I respect your bike because it's a great bike.
Yeah.
I'm sure you
Same
respect
thing.
my bike because it's a great bike. Yeah,
No,
we
is.
bag on each other.
Absolutely,
And we're
yeah.
going to. But our difference is...
We could never actually admit that...
No, I think...
When are they-
I think the Challenger, honestly, is one of the best bikes on the market right now. I really think it's... I'd love to try that BMW R18. I'd really love to drive that.
It'd be fun to drive. I don't think I could do it because of the boxer engine. We've talked about that before.
Well,
It's
yeah.
just you can't really like stretch out how you can
Yeah.
on any other
bike because they sit out the side.
because
So.
it sits on the side. So it's
Yamaha made a really cool one for a couple of years. It was the Yamaha Eluder.
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
Look up the Yamaha Eluder. ELUDER, I think is the last name of the bike. Good looking bike. They only made them for like 2 or 3 years. It's a Royal Star Eluder. And it is a good looking performance bagger. And it's pretty. Like I almost bought one of those when I was buying the
2018?
Harley. Yep. And I couldn't find one. Like they wanted stupid money for them now because dealers still have a couple of them.
Yeah, no, there's a bunch coming up at dealerships and stuff. They're actually pretty good looking bikes. They're
Not a bad bike.
It's different.
Yeah, it's very. It looks almost Judge Dredgy to me,
Oh, that was such a good movie.
doesn't it? Like kind of have
it's
that
kinda
feel
got
to
that.
it. But I mean, great
But only
bike.
if it made the.
Yeah.
Well, they drove up.
Yep.
That was a good movie. Oh man, the technology.
Sandra Bullock.
Going back into the whole technology thing. It's the technology, the advancements we've made. Honestly, in the last
5 years.
even just the last 5 years. But I was going to say
Yeah,
like
we
the
say
last
that-
120 years
Yeah.
is insane. It's just leaps and bounds.
Well, you think about how, we'll say 1917 to now. So World War I until now.
Yeah.
Look at our military technology changes. Single shot rifles, you know, artillery pieces that were so inaccurate. To where like you
know.
just killed things by, well, let's just throw as much lead at them as we can. And we're going to pull it with a horse.
Yeah.
You know, your first tanks were designed literally just to drive over trenches. They weren't designed to be a fighting machine. It was designed
be
to
able
just
go over
break
the trench
to just break their defenses enough that you can get people to walk in behind it.
Yeah.
And now look at the Abrams, the Merkava, the new T7. Was it the T75 or T76 or whatever the newest Russian version is?
Yeah, not sure.
Amazing, amazing pieces of machinery.
No, they really are, and it's goes back into what you were saying. Is it something that we
Figured out or something that was
something that
figured
was
out to us?
gifted to us? Because there was also, and we've
Well,
talked
the
about,
atomic bomb in World War II,
That's
which I watched
actually
Oppenheimer.
interesting. I haven't
Really
seen
good
it.
movie.
I've never.
Pretty good movie.
I haven't
movie.
seen a lot of movies
I
lately.
watched that on the flight back from Qatar, so it was
It was kind of just
some
like
of
a
it
type color a little bit.
was yeah. Well, they modify every video on there, so that they're kind of, even though they're kind of more PG.
Which is
Because
the worst
there's
thing, honestly.
sections, there's scenes that were taken out on certain movies. I was like, wait a second, that was supposed to have this scene. I went and looked it up. Oh, yeah, they must have edited it out. Edit it for content for the plane, which makes sense. I mean, there's kids on planes; they don't need to see certain things.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But it's
And once again, on Bikes, Mics, and Idiots, we want to thank one of our founding sponsors, Sketchy Alias. He's a freelance graphic designer from Arizona who specializes in vector-based artwork. I'm an idiot. I don't know what that means, but it's really cool. He's been working on design for over 15 years, and has worked in everything from logos, apparel, design, and social media. He's made a phenomenal logo for us, and he is, like I said, one of our founding sponsors.
It's something, the whole technology thing, like you were saying with the atom bomb and all that kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
But then, and this goes back into something we've touched on a few times with watching old History Channel shows
Yep.
and Ancient Aliens. And there was,
Yeah.
you know, they go to those old, like Indian sites,
Mm-hmm.
South America, all that stuff. And there's one where they're like the blocks that they put in were like laser precision. You can't even fit a piece of paper through because
Yeah.
it's so precisely cut.
Yep.
But then again,
They're not even using mortar.
But then again,
Yeah.
you think about the old marble statues.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe it's just technology we lost along the way.
And it could very well be.
Because-
be.
Because there was a few, and I could probably pull them up, but they're gorgeous statues. And there's one where it's like a little veil over the person, like a
Yeah.
silk veil or whatever. But you could see like the perfect detail and everything, and they made the and that's
And
something,
were those artisans just that talented that they were able to do it? Like,
but you
like
gotta-
when I see like what Sketchy does with stuff,
yeah.
I can't even fathom that.
Yeah, because it's
It's so
something
outside
you're
of my
not-
realm of creativity. And were those like back to the pyramids and stuff? Were those stonemasons just that good?
and it could be because if you really think about it,
Yeah.
there's so much lost technology. Well, and especially they've recently said,
Yeah.
oh well, we don't have the technology to go to the moon. We lost it,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Granted, that's kind of a dumb
Well, I mean,
excuse,
it is
but
definitely hard to recreate filming that in your basement, but you know, we'll give it a shot. I don't believe that.
we should
I think we went to
should
the
totally
moon.
try it. But
Yeah.
it's things that you do lose along the way if
Yeah.
you don't do it. Because I bet you if you were to have dedicated 20 years of your life to stone carving, you would probably be phenomenal at it. Well,
Well,
but
I
then
mean-
again, if you were a creative person too.
Yeah,
There's
but I
that
mean,
portion.
those guys also had apprentices.
Yeah.
You know, you're born, and at the age of 5 or 6, you're apprenticed.
Yeah.
You're already
And you're learning to do
working
these
it from
things.
and that's your sole purpose in life. Whereas we do all sorts of different things,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But some of these guys, that was their sole purpose in life. They didn't have families. They didn't have kids. They were stonemasons. That's what you did.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Exactly.
But it's something that you could probably learn to do, things that
Passably.
we've lost along the way. Because I've had this crazy theory, and there was something that after I had this theory on it, well, hypothesis, scientific terms, that Mars used to be, maybe that was,
Earth.
well, yeah, there was a civilization on Mars prior,
And they moved out to
and
Earth.
they moved out to Earth. But then
and we
if you
lost
figure,
a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, because if you figure,
well, that's
even
the
if they,
whole the movie 65 Million
I don't think I've
with
seen it.
that's the one with oh my gosh, the guy who played Darth
You're terrible.
the
at
new
this.
Jedi.
I like how you know. I like how you know movies, but you don't know.
I can't remember the actor. Adam Driver.
Oh yeah.
So that whole basis of that movie. So spoiler alert. The whole basis of the movie is they crash landed here on Earth where the dinosaurs were.
65 is
Or
what it's
65
called.
million. Or
No,
65.
65.
So they crash landed on prehistoric
this million.
Earth, and that's what started the colonization of Earth.
Yeah. So that's what I was saying.
So they lost like that tech, like that's yeah.
So if you think about it, and I had this theory, hell,
Hypothesis.
probably hypothesis.
Hypothesis.
Is it?
No, I don't know. I just made that up.
Okay. Well, either way, probably 20 years ago, I was a teenager, and then we had landed Mars rovers, all that kind of stuff, and then they were like, "Oh, they confirmed most of the main reason Mars is red is because of iron oxide." So
Rust.
iron rust. Yeah,
Iron
it's-
rust.
Well, it's iron oxide,
Yeah.
the majority of it.
Yeah.
But it's basically it's rust.
It's rust, yeah.
It's oxidation. And so maybe the whole story like the ARC project, because they've done movies and
Yeah.
games and kind of things on that. Maybe that could actually be a legitimate thing.
It could be.
It was a movement from there. And if you think about it, it takes, I think it's might be 3 generations to lose a technology.
Yep. I believe it.
So if you had battery powered, which probably would be the majority of their technology would have to be battery powered, let's say, because solar power can only get you so far. And
Oh, you
even
got to
if
have storage. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to have some kind of storage. So battery, they start losing technology along the way, and then you just have stories
Yep.
and that kind of thing.
And then
that gets
Elon Musk
passed
comes
on.
back and figures it out again.
But
No, it could be totally plausible.
it's
I mean,
a
that's-
possibility.
In the
And
words of the Mythbusters, plausible.
plausible. Exactly.
You know.
It's something that could happen, and this was also along those same lines because they've talked about colonizing Mars for the longest time before Elon Musk. And I had always said, this is me going into full on nerd mode right now. I had always said that because of centripetal force, the orbit of a planet is not actually, it's not circular. It's not perfectly circular.
Yeah.
It's elongated. And I bet you that this was my thought process back then. I bet it doesn't stay in that. We're slowly getting bigger.
Yeah.
Proven later, they're like, well, the days are getting longer, the years getting longer. Very slight. Our lifetimes are kind of short.
Yeah. We don't have enough of a span to really see the change.
That much of a change. There's some, but it's very slight. It's something we wouldn't notice in our passing days, but the Earth's orbit is getting further away from the sun. So I had always said we should be trying to colonize Mercury. Granted, Mercury is completely uninhabitable, sorry.
Yeah.
So, but it'll eventually go into what they call the Goldilocks zone.
Yeah.
Which is what they believe.
Not too hot, not too cold. It's just right.
Just right. Which is what they believed for the longest time. It was something they believed for the longest time, that planets had to be in that Goldilocks zone because of I think it's a human phenomenon of we believe that this is how we live. This is the things we do. So obviously
The hell was that?
I have no clue.
Damn aliens.
Must be the aliens.
Yeah.
We're getting too
close to the answers. They're gonna take you away.
if only. And maybe I'd get some actual answers.
No.
But they believed that for the longest time is Goldilocks zone. So you had to be in this certain area. So they were looking for planets that could possibly be inhabited because they were in the Goldilocks zone. Until they realized something in our own solar system that they never realized that, and I think it was Europa, one of the moons of Saturn, could possibly have some life on it.
Yep.
And it has to do with gravitational force, all this kind of stuff. So they're like, oh, this expanded the possibility of inhabitable planets from 9, let's
From like
say,
9 or to thousands.
to thousands.
Yep.
And they're like, holy crap, this is an insane
Well,
development.
and that's how you learn. Like, and I'm going to go back to like you're forgetting technology and losing technology. Think about something as simple as sewing.
Yeah.
40 years ago, everybody knew how to sew.
And now it's done by machines only.
Machines only, or very good seamstresses and stuff.
But it's...
Look at the bottom of your cup.
Oh. It stayed stuck.
Yeah, interesting.
But, no, it really is, because sewing is
So, like,
becoming a forgotten technology.
I've picked it up because I've had to sew and fix things before, but it's
I know a little bit of
it's not
how
like
to do it.
everybody everybody used to know how to sew stuff. That was normal.
But, like, to
And now
sew
we
by
don't have to.
hand,
Yeah, to sew by hand. And now,
because sewing with a machine,
yeah, and
it's...
I learned that in home ec.
Yeah.
I made a duffel bag.
Canvas?
Yeah.
Canvas double bag?
Yep.
Could you
That
make
was
one
that was
now?
ours. What's that?
I said, could you make one now?
Absolutely not. No, you know what? I think I might be able to figure it out.
It-
Because it's 2 round pieces. You use a double cross stitch on the inside. You flip it in. Yeah, I could probably get it done.
I would like to see that.
It might not look great, but it'll hold stuff.
Cricket. but it holds things. But yeah, you're right. We lose. It's not even just technology. We lose knowledge,
ability, knowledge, and ability.
Knowledge.
Think about it. What did your car's manual used to come with in the 40s and 50s, even in the 60s?
It used to give you instructions on how to
do your
oil,
how to change your timing, how to check your valve lash. None of that now.
all that stuff. Yeah,
Part of it's like we're turning into the humans in Up.
Oh,
Or not Up.
no, in Wally.
Wally. Yeah.
Wally. Yeah.
Yeah, we just sit there with the technology doing everything for us and then wonder why we can't do anything for ourselves anymore.
Which, I mean,
And that's that's kind of a backwards look at where technology went. Like technology went to help, but then you forget everything that makes you human.
Yeah, you forget how to do
So
all
what
the things.
is that what happened? They came here, they had all this technology, and then they were like, we want to be back to the way we were. And then they start losing it, and then it's we always talk about everything's on a pendulum.
Yeah.
It swings left to right. Good years, bad years.
And just back and forth.
And is this that swing from forgetting humanness, moving to technology again? And are we going to hit that pinnacle of technology again and say we want to be human again? We want to do all this so look at like the resurgence of the guys who do survivalist classes and like how many people now go camping and hiking?
Oh, and it's
And it never used to be as like it was a pastime.
life.
People did it. Van life. Getting
That's
away
another
from
big
the
one.
cities, getting away from all these people and wanting to have a connection with nature and what's around you. Like that's making a huge resurgence.
yeah. Well, and some of that started too with like I think it was called the Nothing phone, and
Yeah.
now Nothing phone is they make actual phones,
Yeah.
but it was like a little thing that just
Yeah.
to get you away from the phone. That is that's something we use on a daily basis, and we have the knowledge of the world at our fingertips, and it's made us dumber
Yes, it has. Because now you have things like bikes, mics.
and idiots.
Exactly.
But it's something we've done. I mean,
Well, it's like I never would have thought like I was one of those. I'm never going to give my kids this crap. I'm never going to give. And what I'm giving them an iPad to watch a movie because it keeps them quiet during my dinner.
yeah,
And they got it. We only they got it in small doses.
Yeah.
Not like I've seen today where like
That's all
a
they do.
1-year-old
Yeah.
sitting in the basket getting pushed around, eyeballs deep in a
basket.
or what do you call it?
Stroller.
The stroller. Eyeballs deep on a movie on their iPad.
Yeah. And they know how to manipulate it too
Yeah.
at a real young age.
Which the way technology is going isn't a terrible thing. It's not a good thing.
No, you need to find that balance. Like we've
Yeah.
talked multiple times with work-life balance and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff too.
It's
You need
everything.
to find that balance. But I found myself, especially more recently, trying to stay away from my phone. Like
Yes.
if I'm having dinner or doing
Shut it off.
something with somebody, not completely shut it off because
Yeah.
emergencies happen or whatever. But
Yeah, I have it in my pocket and it'll be on vibrate. And if like at night, even when I sleep at night, it's silenced.
yeah,
So
When you
if
sleep
somebody
during the day,
needs,
you mean?
or yeah, when I sleep during my day, so my night, but which is daytime, I have it off. I have it on silent. But if the people who know how to get a hold of me know how to make it
Make it
get
work,
through,
make
it
it-
come through.
and then you have your contacts that
Yeah.
will automatically come through.
Yeah, my
which-
favorites will all pop through.
But it's I've tried to start doing that a little bit
Yep.
more, and this was the thing, and I remember seeing it on How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah,
That was a great
show
by the way.
too. Barney.
Yeah, Barney, he was great. But that was they touched on that of bar fights used to be bar arguments.
Yeah.
used to be, oh, what do you think? What do you think was the greatest thing before sliced bread?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it would just be people kind of arguing, thinking,
Yeah.
they
Take it,
knew.
make it a stand on a point and sticking with
But
it.
you had
giving the
to, but
argument.
you had to logically
You had to
think
think
through
it.
something and make a valid argument
Yep.
about whatever your point may be.
Yep.
It might be totally wrong, but you had to logic
it's
your
debate
way
class.
through it. Yeah, essentially, you had to
Yeah.
logic your way through it. You had to find something to make it a valid argument, whether it was actually valid or not.
Yeah, exactly.
You had to try to make it a valid argument, which is something we don't do. It's just basically, oh, what do you think the greatest thing before sliced bread was?
Oh, let me look it up.
Oh, it was this.
Yeah.
Or what year did this movie come out? And then you have your argument of, oh, well, I remember I was doing this, that, and the other. It makes your brain work. Whereas now it's, oh, what do you think? What year did this movie come out? And you're
I have no clue.
Oh.
Let me look it up.
Oh, it came out in this year.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you don't think for yourself anymore.
No, you don't. Like, and that's one of the things that it's tough because it's so available. It's nice to have the availability of that information.
Yeah.
But now, like, I couldn't tell you more than probably 5 or 6 phone numbers. They're saved in my phone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Why do I need to remember it? It's in my phone. You remembered all your friends' phones. You remember your friend's phone, your parents' work phones. Like, you remembered those numbers because you had to. You didn't want to look them up.
I mean, I still remember some old numbers.
Yeah, I remember old numbers better than I remember the new ones.
Yeah, absolutely.
I still remember my mom's work phone number.
Yeah. I remember my parents.
Yep.
Well, because they had their own business. I remember their business number.
Yep.
Remember old house number.
Yep.
Where I was growing up. Those kind of numbers. Still remember them to this day.
Still remember the school phone number.
Oh, no. Never knew that.
Yep.
Didn't even know that number.
I did.
Why?
So I could call in sick. I'm not coming in today. I'm sick. No, but it's the same thing. Like, yeah. Eric's not going to be able to come in today. He's not feeling well. Oh, okay. We need a note. Signed by you.
Got it. Well, and that's okay. So that actually brings me into another. It's still along that same lines of phones and technology and all that thing. They don't teach cursive in school anymore.
I've taught my kids, though.
I need to teach my son.
Yes.
But that's
it's scary. How do you sign your name?
That's exactly what I was going to say. How do you sign your name? You just print it on there? Like, because
yeah, it's dumb.
I have a
I'm not a fan.
Very random theory on that. That they're not teaching cursive anymore. Because what's written in cursive?
The Declaration of Independence and the Constitution.
Bingo.
They don't want them to be able to read it.
Because then, at that point, because that's the thing, everything we look up,
you can alter
when
it.
you look it up, you can alter it, or it could be, I'm the Mandela effect.
Mm-hmm.
You could be like, oh, well, I remember this movie came out in 1991. And then you look it up, all the sources start saying, no, it was 99. That's a big difference.
Yep.
Significant difference.
You tell people to lie enough times, they'll believe it.
Well, and if every source is saying it, so if
that's the whole generalized idea of what happened in communist Russia is that they controlled the state media.
Yep.
Oh, the Americans don't have jets. Nope, the Americans don't have jets. Oh, the Americans don't have jets. And then a jet crashes in Eastern Germany. They're like, oh my God, America has jets. I never knew they had jets. They told us they didn't have jets. I mean, that's,
yep.
Americans don't have television. Like, look at the crap North Korea puts out to their people who have defected here and said, oh no, we had no idea you guys had this technology.
Something about unicorns also, I think.
Oh, I don't know.
I think I've legit heard this, that in there, it's almost folklore.
Yeah.
That, what is it, Kim Jong-il now? Has a unicorn, or has unicorns. Craziest thing, but
people believe it.
Yeah, if you don't know any better.
Yeah.
Because and it goes back to the whole, you have to think for yourself, and if you don't, and if this is
relying on that.
If that's your basis and everything.
Well, I mean, it's like when you look at Wikipedia, you can go in and adjust any Wikipedia article.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You can go in and make edits to it.
And even though it says
edited by, or
what's at the bottom? References? Mm-hmm. References. It'll say the person that edited it, but how many people actually look at the references at the bottom?
Nobody.
So whatever it says on there that's the truth.
That's the lore. So I mean, that's a problem. I mean, that's a scary problem because, it's the whole fake news argument versus real news argument versus who do you trust, who do you not trust, and.
Well, and okay, so thinking about it, when you were growing up, if your parents said something was true,
you were
like, It must be.
Or you saw it on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather. Like that's.
That was,
I mean, that's how you knew what was going on. That and papers.
Yeah,
and now anybody can have a YouTube channel.
I wonder. Yeah.
You know, and can come up with their statistics that are right 98.642% of the time. 0.5.
Yeah, 0.5. You can't forget that 0.5.
Can't forget the last 0.5.
If it wasn't 0.5, then I wouldn't have believed you.
Yeah, you know. So, I mean, it's the scary thing about, you know, you think about of a hack that somebody could hack. You know, when you had Encyclopedia Britannica, that didn't change until you changed your Encyclopedia Britannica, you know, and that went through editings and all those other things. And like you got your 2000, well, I'm going to say 2001, 2002 update. We didn't have them that late. But you got your update every year and like, oh, you go, what's the update? And you'd look something up and you look it up to where it was in your old one. You're like, that's a big update. That's a complete 180 change from what they were saying before. Like, this isn't even close.
But then that also makes you think of what in history happened completely different than what we thought it did.
Oh, because there's going to be so much. Well, history is written by the victors.
There you go. I was actually going to say that too.
I mean, it's written by the victors. He who wins the war writes the history of the war.
So how much of history is different than what we've always believed?
And I would say more so now. It's a lot more. It's a lot harder to write history as the victor because there's so many sources of news. Whereas you think about the 16, 17s, 1500s, you had one paper.
What was history back then?
You know, it was what was told down to you from the person ahead of you. Mm-hmm. It was an oral history or it was the Bible. Those were the written words of the day, the Bible, the Quran.
But then most people didn't know how to read back then either. So then you had that problem of you couldn't read it. Someone had to read it to you, so you didn't know what was going on, except for what the person told you. So, I mean, it's a crazy.
It's kind of the same thing. It's the same thing today with a different media. The person telling you the story back then would tell you the story they wanted you to hear.
Yeah.
And now the people who are telling you the story on here are the ones telling you what they want you to hear.
Well,
and can you filter it?
So, and that, like I had said earlier about the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
So is that a possibility that they just made up the Mandela effect to make people believe that, because the Mandela effect had to do with, Mandela had died in jail and whatever, and everyone remembered that, but it wasn't actually true. But it wasn't actually true.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, no, he lived till this and that, whatever year it was, and that's why they call it the Mandela effect, because everyone believed it to be true.
And there's arguments, too, that Hitler didn't really kill himself in the bunker. He ended up in Argentina.
Yeah.
And they've had people tried to hunt. Like, there's been a lot of stories about that. Like, no, he made it out. And I mean, who knows? It's possible. It's not. Who knows?
Because it could be something as simple as who won the Super Bowl last year, right?
Nobody that mattered.
Sorry, it was a sore subject. I didn't think about it in that way. But that was totally unintentional. It really was.
It's okay. How far did Dallas go?
Yeah, they made it to the second round.
That's cute.
Where did the Bills end up?
Second round. Anyway, okay, we're squirreling. We're squirreling.
Yeah, we're gonna. But it could be something as simple as that. Who won the Super Bowl last year? And everyone remembers, let's say, the Chiefs. And then
no, it was the Titans.
Yeah, they go back and
totally
say,
the Titans.
No, it was the Lions.
Or the Lions.
The Lions were having a great season.
They had a great season. So people really, they had a great season that year.
Good season. They were playing real well, and
then you get somebody to put it on there. ESPN puts it on there, and then somebody else runs with it, and so it grows and grows and grows, and boom, there it is.
And now that's the truth.
Yep.
But that really wasn't, and everyone remembers. Well, I thought the Chiefs had won.
No, they weren't even in it.
Yeah.
It was the Chiefs and the Cowboys. Oh, we know you're lying now.
One year.
Dem boys.
Yeah.
Well, right. They got way more rings than the Bills do.
That is true.
Oh, good deal.
So I think we've kind of hit on that quite a bit. It's something we could legitimately go on for a long time for, but I think we're kind of hitting that time frame.
Okay.
Don't want to keep people listening for too long. They might get tired of us.
They get and that is not fake news.
Yeah. So we're gonna close this one out.
Perfect.
So
live good,
ride hard,
and we'll catch you next time.